This YouTube channel was created to provide a history for those to come after us. Now, you'll notice that the makers of this video, everyone on this video, is an elder right now. So we think it's important that we pass on our memories to those of you coming behind us. Now, the editing may not be clean, but that's purposeful because I want you to appreciate the fact that when the internet became available to public access, everyone on this video was at least 35 years old. The youngest was about 38. And you'll notice that Pauline is 90 years old as we were recording this. She was 60 when the internet became available. So we all had to learn this as adults. So we hope you enjoy it, hope you appreciate the effort that went into it, and we hope you continue to add to it to provide a history for those who will come after you.
It was really something, but the scriptures covered everything. I mean, just everything. But she gave me all these different scriptures to read.
You were muted for a long time, and then you
and Nick came in here and started messing with my settings because he's a butthead.
That's my nephew. That's my nephew. You're talking about. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. You're talking about my nephew.
I can't stand that boy. Now I'm trying to figure out how to unmute me. Oh my gosh, that boy.
Well, you're not muted. We can hear you.
I know. I want to be muted. I want to be muted.
All your secrets now.
So if I mute you, will you know how to unmute?
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute me. I'm watching this golf tournament.
Oh, you're mute. You're not muted.
I know. I'm trying to unmute
you. Steve is going to mute you.
Oh, good. Thank God.
He's the host. He can do it.
But I won't be able to unmute you.
That's okay. I don't need to be on.
She's there.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm laying hands on you just as soon as I see you. First thing.
No, I'm gonna lay hands on Nick.
You better leave my nephew alone, girl.
Oh, that boy.
We'll lay hands on you too, but they'll be around your neck.
Oh, there we go. Now there we go. She's muted.
Now you're muted.
All right.
All right, now that sign that says this meeting is being recorded is blocking out the whole.
All right.
Yeah. Blocking out his head.
She's Roosevelt's wife.
How about can this meeting is being recorded? Can that be taken off?
You have to do it.
No, you're being recorded. Just for you to know that you're being recorded.
Oh, say got it. Yeah, just click the little thing that says got it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Didn't get it.
It still didn't go off?
Nope. I'm just a poking guy.
The recording is going to stay up there because we are being recorded.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't,
it doesn't stay on your screen
up there. You can just click got it, and it'll go away.
Stay on the screen. Yeah,
you're supposed to. I'm clicking got it, but
it's not on my screen, Barbara.
But I don't have it on my screen either because I just when it came up, I just clicked got it, and it went away.
It went away.
All right, the great baby of Frank and Elizabeth Scott is now on the Zoom.
There you go. Hi, Auntie.
Hi, Herreece.
Hey now.
Hi, Phyllis. Phyllis, you are muted.
Maybe Phyllis wants to be muted.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
I don't. Do you see Aunt Herreece on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see Stephen at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody.
Below Lavinia and the body.
If she's got on a phone, she may not have enough room for it. You may have to.
No, I'm on the computer. I saw Lavinia just, but I haven't been seeing. The only ones that I'm seeing are Barbara and Dorothy and Steve and me.
Okay, so up in the left-hand corner where it says view, do you have something that says view?
Nope.
On your,
Oh, wait a
are
minute.
you on the phone or your computer?
I'm on the computer.
Okay,
Okay.
so up there
If you click on the arrow,
in the right-hand corner, it should say view.
I see leave, but
No.
yeah, I do see view. Yeah, I see
Okay,
view. Okay.
click on view and then click on gallery.
Okay.
Okay, I clicked
Okay,
it
now.
on view.
Okay.
Yes.
Nope. Still didn't know.
Right now.
It
Hello.
doesn't help a bit.
Hi.
Okay. Today, did I?
Uh,
You have to get that and mute that one over there. Get
Jenna,
that over there and mute the TV. That one right there.
mute and stop video.
Yeah, don't stop there, but on view,
No,
you should
okay.
have something that says gallery under
Yeah.
there.
I don't see
all right,
gallery.
people. This meeting is not called to order.
What?
Okay. I mean, I know you all are not accustomed to order, but we're going to order. Let's start.
That's fine. No, you don't. That's not how you do it.
Who's talking?
It's okay.
All you have to hit was that third button down.
Okay.
We're
Let's
all
start
here.
with introducing ourselves. It's going to be this is going to be recorded as our family history, oral history, so that your great grandchildren, if the Lord doesn't come before, will be able to see how silly we were for one thing, and hear about their family histories and stories from family history. Start with on my screen. I see Stephen Sylvie first. Tell us who you are. Or should we start with Herreece?
Right.
Yeah, start with Herreece.
We'll start with your Aunt Herreece.
That's not really our.
Who you are?
So she said, do you have a question for her?
Yeah.
Tell us who you are and who your mom and daddy are.
Oh, I'm Herreece. My mother's name was Elizabeth, and my daddy's name was Frank.
More.
Okay. And Herreece is the last of the Frank and Elizabeth Scott children. She's the baby. Okay, who wants to go next?
I want to ask Aunt Herreece a question. If she knows the name of that man that Big Daddy was sharecropping with.
Mr. Hall.
Mr. Hall. Well, see,
Yeah.
okay. Well, and do you remember Mr. Hall's favorite horse?
I don't know the horse's name, but I remember.
Something like that. I've forgotten. I don't know.
Dad
I can remember Mr. Hall.
What was his name? Do you remember the name?
No,
of the horse?
I don't remember the name. No, I just remember riding that horse. That's the only horse I ever rode in my life. My father, Robert Smith, took Earl and May and me, and I'm the only one of the three of us left. What? He took Earl and May and me over to Mr. Hall's place, and we stayed out there with him all day, and he let us get on the horse. I don't know what else that horse did besides entertain us, but it was a really exciting day for me to have to be able to go someplace with my father in the first place, and then to ride Mr. Hall's horse.
I'm sure it was an experience because I didn't get a chance to ride it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
I wasn't sure I wanted to either till I got up there. Then it was, a good experience to have in my repertoire.
Yeah. I can remember
this meeting is being recorded. Won't go off of there. Jenna, will you see if you can make this meeting is being recorded sign go off the middle of my TV, my computer.
So Pauline, when you look at it, what does it say on there? I know it says that you're being recorded. What else is on there?
This meeting is being recorded.
And then
Not a real big.
She's gonna get Jenna to help her.
Okay.
And while we're figuring that out, for those of you who will be watching this recording, Pauline is the daughter of Big Mama and Big Daddy's oldest child, Zephia Smith. And Pauline is the oldest of Zephyr's children.
And she told us that her dad was Robert Smith.
Yeah. And I am Barbara Whiteside, and my mother is Lily Mae Banks Scott. No, she was Scott before she was Banks, wasn't she? And she is the second daughter of Frank and Elizabeth.
Just have
Somebody
And
else,
I'm
tell us who
Dorothy
you are.
Banks.
Pauline is Zephyr's oldest. Yeah, Pauline
Did
is
you
Zephyr's
finish,
oldest, and I am Zephyr's youngest. I'm Tag,
Ah,
Oh, I'm not kidding. I'm serious.
or as she named me, Willa.
Yes.
I'm Willa Smith Maxey. I'm Zephyr's youngest child.
Yes.
None of you know the name Willa, but you all know Tag.
They know Tag.
okay. And I am Dorothy Banks, and I am the next to the youngest of Lily Mae Scott Banks. Oh, and my dad was Shedrick Banks, the famous Shedrick Banks, the best Shedrick in the whole wide
The
world.
infamous Shedrick Banks.
And can you hear me?
Yes, we hear
Yes.
you.
Oh, I'm Adelle Richardson, and I'm the daughter of Nathaniel Richardson.
The daughter of whom?
Son of,
Nathaniel.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
I know
Adele,
that name.
your grandmother's name? Nathaniel's mother was whom? You.
Odessa.
Okay. Okay. Odessa was Big Daddy's sister.
She's a Scott.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's
Oh, no,
that?
they called her.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, the
Was
list
that Aunt Liskew?
Huh?
Was that who we called Aunt Liskew?
Yeah, that was her middle name.
Okay.
Oh,
Long, beautiful hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
Every time we call her name, you guys remember she had long, beautiful hair.
I never saw it, but I sure heard about it.
Yeah.
I never saw it or heard it.
We got to see it because she came to Kansas City once, I think, at one time. And that's when we got a chance to see it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I know we're not telling stories about her, but I remember I wasn't at home when she came to visit, but Kathy was saying that they were staying up too late, and Mother was allowing you guys to stay up too late. Now let's you say, Little May, these kids need to go to bed. It's way past bedtime. It was like 9 o'clock at night or something.
Ah.
She lived in Denver, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we stopped there on the way to California one time. I don't remember how young I was. I was probably maybe 5 or 6.
Oklahoma. I thought it was Oklahoma.
Was it Oklahoma?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was from Oklahoma, but she lived her adult life in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped there and on our way. It may have been when we were on our way to Opal's wedding, so I was probably about 5.
okay.
I might as well introduce myself then. I'm Steve Banks, Lily Mae and Cedric Banks.
Mhm.
Youngest. I'm the youngest of the 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I'll say something. I'm Lavinia, and I'm the daughter of Veessa, who is the sister of Aunt Herreece. And I guess I'm a middle child, but me and my brother were born in the same year. So my mother and my father was really working hard because she had him in January and then she had me in December. So of the same year. So we're 11 months apart. So yeah.
What's your brother's name?
Floyd.
Oh, Floyd. Okay.
It's Floyd. And then I had another brother, Freddie, and he passed away back in 2015, I believe. Yeah.
That was Michael.
Who's left?
That was Freddie.
That was Freddie.
Freddie,
Yeah, we all called him Freddie.
Uh-huh.
Just like with Steve, we all called him Stevie. So I don't, he never was Steve. He was always Stevie.
Okay, Roosevelt, tell us who you are.
I am Roosevelt Scott, son of Roosevelt Scott and Jody Berry, and the grandson of Arthur and Nellie.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Arthur was Big Daddy's brother, you all.
Okay.
Now, I'm listening to all of you all talk and whatnot. Now, I know your names, but some of the things you're saying I don't recall or know about. Now, I know a lot about Herreece because I spent a lot of time with her and Clifford. And all of you all is in the family tree. Just want you to know that. But that's about as much as I'm going to be able to add to this conversation.
You got some stories this year though from growing up in Wetumpka.
Yes, I grew up in Wetumpka.
You didn't grow up in Wetumpka?
What was that?
I said, didn't you grow up in Wetumpka?
Yeah, I grew up in Wetumpka. I didn't leave Wetumpka until after I graduated high school.
Yeah. And he had a military career. How long were you in the military?
26 years.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Roosevelt Scott? Did we call him Buddy and we call him Cousin Buddy?
Yes, that's my father.
Okay. Okay, because he had all right. Cousin Buddy had this place where we could go and have all the fun that we wanted to have.
Yes.
I mean, Wetumpka. Oh yeah, we remember some cousins.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a good piece of family history to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it, but it was that's where I mean really all the kids or young people could go there and dance and enjoy ourselves. Yeah.
You know, Pam and my granddaughter Tori and I went to Wetumpka a couple of years ago. Went to the grave site and we saw the graves of we saw Grandma Scott's grave. We saw Grandma Joyce on the Bankside's grave. It was quite an interesting trip. We took pictures, but Wetumpka does not look the same way it did when we were running the streets down there at all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's it different?
Well, I'm Cynthia Robbins. I'm the daughter of Maxine and Clarence Smith, and Maxine is the daughter of Lily Mae Banks Scott. So that's how I fit in the family.
Someone was detected at your front door.
And maybe I need to do this. We start with Frank and Elizabeth Scott had 11 children, 7 of whom lived to adulthood. Is that right, Herreece? That's every 11.
That's correct.
And okay. So those that we know were Zephyr the oldest, Lily, Velma, Henry, Nisha, Veessa, and Herreece.
Yes.
Yeah, those were the ones that we know. Some of the stories about Big Daddy. One of my favorite ones was when we were down there for the summer, and Earl and Cedric. Earl is my cousin, and Cedric is my brother. They had gone uptown and this white man had hired them to do some work in his store, and he promised to pay them $2 a piece when they finished. Well, they worked up there all day long, and they got back to the house, and they had a big bag of chicken feed. And Big Daddy looked at the chicken. He said, "Where's the money?" He said, "Well, this is what the man paid us." And Big Daddy said, "Come on." He marched them right back up to that store, went into the man's shop, and he said, "My grandsons worked for you, and I understand you promised to pay them money. The chicken feed are not acceptable. That's not money. Here, your chicken feed. Give my grandsons their money." And the man apologized and gave them the money. Frank Scott, he was a bold man. I mean, and somewhat, I would call him a militaristic race advocate. He was very much an advocate for Black people being respected. He insisted on it. In that generation, that was pretty unusual, but he did that. I remember asking him one time, I said, "Weren't you from Mississippi?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm from Mississippi, and I plan to stay from Mississippi."
Well, when he was down in Wetumpka, I know when we were down there as kids and everything, I think those white people uptown used to call him that old Indian. And they referred to him. Oh, that old Indian down there.
But you know, most of the
They were
black
making
people
this-
in Wetumpka called him Uncle Frank.
Mhm.
And I understand that he went uptown one time and he went into the store and this white man greeted him as Uncle Frank friendly. Hey, Uncle Frank, and Big Daddy said, I beg your pardon. And the man said, Uncle Frank, I was just speaking. And Big Daddy said, I'm not your uncle. Your mother's not my sister and your dad is not my brother. I'm Frank Scott.
Mhm.
Don't take liberties with me because I'm a black man. I mean, he was very sensitive about that.
I guess that's where I got
You know
mine
that.
from.
You know
Don't
that.
call me Uncle Barbara.
Uh-huh.
Barbara Jean, don't
Yeah.
call me your uncle. I'm just saying.
I
Love
did,
it.
I
Love it.
already did that.
Yeah, but if you been there.
Steve, are you getting ready to share something?
No, I was going to say that story about the pig feet made a lasting impression on his grandson, Cedric, because a very similar thing happened to me and Mickey, Maxine's oldest son, Mickey. He and I are the same age. And a white man promised to pay us $2 to cut weeds. And we were about 8 years old. And we came home, we cut those weeds, and he gave us $1 a piece. So we came home, and Cedric noticed the blisters on our hands, and we told him, so white man down there promised us $2 a piece to cut these weeds, and he gave us $1 a piece. So he marched us back down there and told that man, you promised my brother and my nephew that you were going to pay them $2. So you need to pay them each $2. You owe them $2. And he paid us the other $2.
Yeah.
So that lesson stuck with him.
Yeah.
Somebody remember me from the white man.
Well, you know, my memory from Big Mother a lot was she liked to teach us songs and poems. And I guess that's where Mother got that from, because she would do the same thing, sit us down and start teaching us poems. And we had to learn them and we had to sing in harmony. But Big Mama is the one that taught Cynthia and I that song that I love. I think I put it on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm building a temple on this earth.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm building a temple on this earthly stone.
Yeah.
That's my grandbaby, you guys.
I was probably we were maybe 5 or 6 when we learned that song.
Yeah, no more. I guess I must have been about 7, 8.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you would have been 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are going to lead us in singing some Big Mama songs in July at the reunion, aren't you? Of course you are.
Auntie, don't you have some of the writings and poems and stuff for Big Mama? Or I know you have some of Big Daddy. Don't you have some stuff for Big Mamas also?
We have the Negro Woman poem. I know. I've seen it in writing.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry, I have Auntie look through her stuff because she showed me some stuff when I was in Atlanta the last time. She showed me some stuff that Big Mama had that she had given her.
Mm-hmm.
They were I think they were poems or writings or something. So
Yeah,
maybe,
poems and songs. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe we can pull out some of those and sing those at the reunion. I don't know any of them, so somebody
Yes.
that knows might be able to lead us in.
She just recalled one that she definitely gonna bring. So I was interested, since cousin Roosevelt grew up in Wetumpka, what's the story he remembers about Wetumpka?
Oh, Wetumpka was a real place, you have to realize. But I was young and I grew up there and learned a lot. I don't know any particular story that I would like to share at this time. But Uncle Frank,
those pies.
and cousin Lizzie, who we call, that's how I grew up knowing them, was a big part of our family. And Uncle Frank would come by the house practically every Sunday to make sure that we were up and out and going to church and Sunday school. That was his main thing that he did in our family. Now, like Herreece being the last of her group, I am the last of Roosevelt Scott's group. But I finished high school in Wetumpka, and I'm also learning that my grandmother, who was I didn't get to know because she passed away before I was born, but have relatives in this area, and I'm hoping to meet them one day.
Wow. Wow. Speaking about meeting relatives, when we were in the military for over 20 years, and every time we would have a change of station in the United States, Big Daddy would send me a list of all of the relatives who lived in that particular city, expecting me to get in touch. I mean, the names and the phone numbers. My job was to get in touch with these people and say, "Hey, I'm here." It was, and then he would follow up. Did you call Clyde? That's when we were in Oakland. And I said, "Not yet. I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her pretty soon." And we did. And he probably was doing the same thing with Clyde, because I think what happened was that she called me, and we met, and we did a few things together as families. But he was such a family man. And he told me about Nathaniel, and we weren't even in Denver. I don't know if we must have been close enough to Denver that he thought that I could get over there to see his nephew, because he would send me that information as well.
Yeah, so we had Nathaniel and his wife used to come and visit us too, in Chicago. And I think Daddy and Mom went to see them, pass through Denver one time and stopped to see them one time. So yeah, the families were close.
Yeah.
Big Daddy encouraged that. I remember meeting Nathaniel when he would come to visit. They were very, very nice folks.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you didn't get a chance to meet your grandmother, just want to make sure you know that your dad was well loved.
Yeah.
Well, Cousin Roosevelt, though, did you, when you were there, I know you would have been young like I was too, but did you know Grandma Scott and not, well, that was on Liskew, but I remember when I was there was Uncle Fred and Aunt
Pearl.
Aunt Pearl. Aunt Pearl, yeah, she was there. Did you remember them at all?
Oh yes, I spent a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I sort of remember. Didn't you guys live like across the highway from Buddy's place down there, kind of way back off the road?
No, we always lived next to the road, even before we moved. Only time I know we moved over across the street from the high school. But no, we've always lived on the next to the street.
Yeah, but I mean the highway where Buddy's roadhouse was. Did you were you across the street from there?
Yes.
Okay, because I was really young, but I kind of remember spending the night at your house.
Oh.
Could it?
As a kid.
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay, so Roosevelt, your siblings are home. No, I'm thinking about Horse's kids. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, because I'm probably about 4 or 5 years younger than you. It seems like.
Yeah,
but I do remember. I kind of remember spending the night there as a kid once.
Yeah, that is possible. There she is.
Interesting. Yeah. One of the other things that, and I'm going to read for some of this from some of Big Daddy's notes, because one of the things that my mother did is she talk about have gun will travel. She had a tape recorder and would travel, and she takes stuff. And I typed up some of that stuff for her. But he wrote, let's see, after helping my parents work one crop, let me go back. He says, in the year 1904, we moved with our parents to what was known as that time as the Indian Territory, located about 9 miles northwest of Wetumpka, on land released from D.L. Little. Therefore, y'all remember that name? Therefore, we farmed for 2 years. Then we moved west about 2 miles, settling on a place known as the Fredonia Willis allotment. We were there 3 years, after which we moved 3 miles northwest to Wetumpka, Oklahoma, for the Lewis Hayes place. So they did a lot of moving around, and the sharecropping piece of it, a lot of that. He says, after helping my parents work one crop, I married Miss Elizabeth Carter on November 24th, 1909. And in 1910, we moved to a part of her allotment 3 miles northwest of Wetumpka. There we began our family. To our union, 11 children were born, 7 daughters and 4 sons. And we knew 7 daughters and 1 son. No, we knew 6 daughters and 1 son.
What do you mean when they said allotment? What was that?
That was the allotment that the federal government gave to Native Americans.
Okay.
Now, that was the Native Americans given to the blacks. Allotment there.
Oh,
Herreece
okay.
should be tell you about that.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Because if
that was given our family.
Wait a minute. Roosevelt, what were we going to say? You were saying some more
but
about
if
that.
yeah, if you could not prove that you were Indian or part Indian or all that, then you did not get that land. Now, Cousin Lizzie was a part of the family that got land from the Indians.
Yeah. Does anybody know what happened to her allotment?
No. Like I say, maybe Herreece can fill you all on that one.
Yeah, mommy knows about it. So
And I have a list.
Cousin freedmen who were married with native peoples that got land. Once they found oil on the land, they sold the land
Right.
Or
to
the
black
white
people.
stone.
And this movie that just got an Oscar tells a lot about it. I can't remember the name of it. What's the name of it, Mike?
Flower Moon.
Yeah, Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Except for the white men were marrying the native women to get their land, steal their oil rights.
Killing them.
And if you
But the
haven't,
same thing
you
happened
haven't
to
seen
Big
that,
Daddy.
We have a
and if you
list.
haven't seen that movie, look at it. It was
Good
pretty
movie.
interesting.
Great.
Last week.
People who are eligible.
Yeah,
What's
so
What's your name again?
Flower
Pardon me?
Moon.
Killer of the Flowery Moon or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Flower Moon.
How would we go about
Teresa, you're
researching?
muted.
How would we go
yes,
about
I know.
trying to
I was
find
kind of
out?
talking to my. It's hard
Oh.
when more than one person is talking, so I try to mute myself. And we got Sunday shenanigans going on over here, so.
So tell us again, what's the name of the movie?
Movie's
Killers of the Flower Moon, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
So mommy wanted to add a point.
Oh, I was saying that Daddy's mother, Grandma Sally, was a midwife, and she rode around in the wagons and took care of women who were expecting children and people who whoop and cough, and of course we had to go out to their house every summer and get cleaned out, and she would give us she would make up these herbs and things and give it to us. And I would always want to sleep with my grandmother, who was in the front bedroom, so I could be closer to the bus. And Carol and Uncle Fred lived in the back bedroom, but I wanted to sleep so I could be closer to the bus with grandmother. And she would always give me little change. She had a black bag that she carried around, and she'd always give me change whenever I came out and spent the night.
My cousin
Got the bus to go to school the next day.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say something too about that land. My mother had told me a few stories about the land in terms of, she was saying that Big Daddy, I guess the man that he worked for, that Big Daddy supposedly had asked him if he could borrow one of his mules or horse or whatever to help, do some work on his land. So the mule was kind of sick anyway, but supposedly his boss let him take the mule, but the mule got really, really sick while he was doing the work, and the mule ended up dying. And supposedly the man who he borrowed the mule from, well, he wanted to get paid an extortionate amount of money. And so in order for that to be done, he supposedly negotiated, or did not negotiate, basically just took the land, some of the land from Big Daddy in order to suffice for the fact that this mule died. Now maybe Aunt Herreece can clear that up if I didn't get it right. But anyway, supposedly some of the land, just my
She
mama
said
said,
she had never heard that, but that makes sense to me.
yeah, so
Yeah,
supposedly that's
me
what
too.
happened to that piece of land, is that it wasn't worth all of those acres that he wanted for that, but there was no way for Big Daddy to fight it, so he had to give that up.
Wow.
That was terrible.
See, we could have been rich.
I know it. He also told me another story about Big Daddy. I guess he used to sell hot dogs in the summertime or something, and he used to say this little rhyme, if I can remember. I think she said it was hot dogs for sale, hot dogs for sale. One for a nickel, two for a dime. This is how we do it in the summertime. And she said he would go down the street saying this, and I guess he had a wagon or whatever it is, and he had these hot dogs on it. He would sell these hot dogs. So I don't know if anybody, Aunt Herreece, you know anything about that one?
That one.
No. Well, yeah, that's what she told me.
Wow. Lamont, is that Lamont?
But I thought that was
Yeah,
interesting.
that's Lamont.
Yeah, I went to school with a girl that grandmother delivered in college.
Wow.
She went to elementary and high school with a whole bunch of kids that grandmother delivered.
I just didn't know about it.
She wasn't thinking about it then.
I think she probably delivered most of the babies in Wetumpka, at least in the Black community in Wetumpka, that she delivered them. What I remember also that was told to me is that when my mother, as a child, had infantile paralysis, which is polio, that was a disease that babies were dying from, and Grandma Scott, using herbal medicine, nursed my mother so that the only residual effects of polio that mother had was a little limp, and one of her legs was shorter than the other, but barely noticeable. And then the same thing with Cedric, my brother, that he, lovely person that he was, stuck an ice pick in his eye. Should have been blind, but Grandma Scott again healed that, took care of that through a healing. She was as smart as knowledgeable as any licensed doctor, probably, about certain things, particularly with herbal medicine. She used that well.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got some more stuff.
Well, this one is, I don't have names to go with this one, so I've forgotten. But I understand that two of the little girls of that family were walking down the railroad track, and they saw this big bag by the railroad track. They went and looked at it. It had some beautiful little pieces of paper in it, a couple different colors of paper, but they were playing with the paper. They took pieces out, and some they tore and some they matched. And this white man came along and said, where you guys get that? And they said, well, right by the railroad tracks. This was laying there. He said, I wish I had those pieces of paper, because my house needs to be papered, and those little papers would really make my house look beautiful. And they said, oh, you can have it. So they took, and he said, but some of them we tore. He said, oh, that's okay. Help me find the torn pieces too, and we can put those back, and it'll be enough to paper my house. And so they gave it to him, and they came dancing home and telling, and he didn't give them anything, just thank you. And then they came dancing home and telling the family that they had found this bag of papers, and and this man came and he told them that he wanted to paper his house, and they had them describe the kind of paper. Well, it was a big bag of money, bills, all bills. And
Lord
this
have
white
mercy.
man knew it was money. These little kids had no experience with money at all, none. So they didn't know that that was money. And oh, was their father upset with them for and giving away that money, because in those days they transported large amounts of cash by railroad, and they would, and somebody on that train threw that bag off, and they intended to jump off later, and get that bag. Well, this white man guy, I said, well, we never, but Big Mama or whoever the mother was, it told them, no, you cannot be upset with these children because you haven't taught them anything about money. They didn't know that was money. They had no idea. They wouldn't have given it away like that. And so that was kind of like that story. But I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we found out that the Trump family was the family that took our bag of money?
Oh, wow. That would be ironic for sure.
Irony of ironies.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, summers spent down in Wetumpka, and what really comes to mind is the fried pies. Big Mama made the best fried pies in the whole world. And I remember resenting, people would come around on Sundays to get the fried pies. You remember, Dorothy? And I would be mad and didn't want to share. And Big Mama would tell my baby, you have to share the fried pies. And I'm telling them, hey, you go home and get your own fried pies.
But Al could come over there and eat all the fried pies he wants to. Big Mama would give them to him.
Yeah, but the experience, what we experienced there was so different from the life we lived when we came back home. I remember Big Mama sent me and Dorothy out to gather eggs.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, so we out there trying to get the eggs, and the hen was sitting on the eggs. And we didn't know what to do, and I know Dorothy we poking at the hen, and do you remember, Dorothy? And then the rooster came in the hen house.
Big Mother said, don't let the hen sit. So I'm trying to put my hand under there and get the egg, and that hen pecked me, and I told Big Mother he could sit all day long if he wanted but messing with the hens. That's just like she sent me over there to try to milk that cow.
Yes.
Cow. And that cow kicked his leg, and I started running. I think that cow started running after me. So that was the last time I tried to milk a cow.
But I remember that being I said, this is the nastiest milk in the world. How in the world did people drink this milk? This unpasteurized milk.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I wouldn't drink it either.
No, it was terrible.
I wouldn't drink it. My other grandmother, who lived like about 3 or 4 blocks from Big Mama, we were her only grandchildren. She didn't have a whole lot like Big Mama had a lot of grandchildren. She only had us few, and so she told us that we didn't have to do, what all this stuff that other people wanted us to do. If you want to get have something of your own, well, you have your own.
I remember that she taught us to crochet. I learned how to crochet at a very young age. I don't remember any of it, but she did.
I remember how to do a chain stitch. She showed me that.
Yes.
Make a cake. You know, Big Mama's famous 1, 2, 3, 4 cakes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then she would be in the kitchen with me, and she said, and I love the way she would say, "Now, baby, measure this out, measure that out." And back in the day when ovens were not all that secure, she would use a broomstick to secure the oven to make sure it didn't open while her cake was baking, so it wouldn't fall. But yeah, she taught me how to make a cake. She taught me how to do cornbread when she would come to Kansas City, and she came every summer.
And she had that wooden spoon that she beat it with.
Yeah.
But she also had us. I got a chance to help churn the milk and make the butter.
Yes. We made butter.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. But do you remember when she made those little poodle dogs out of plastic?
Yeah, cleaner bags. Those cleaners bags.
Yeah, they were.
Does anybody still have theirs?
Oh no! So you must have yours.
No, because Mom and them had a fire and mine burnt up. But I had it till after I was grown. Let's see.
My!
That
make
was
those
like
belts.
I had it until like 34 years ago.
Wow. Girl, I would love to have even seen another one because I don't remember. I remember her making them, but I didn't remember us having them at the house. Yeah.
What was it? What was it?
Little poodle dogs.
Poodle dogs out of plastic.
Oh, I remember those, Dorothy.
Yeah, but I don't remember having. Mother didn't keep one, did she?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I
they
remember
had
those.
dollies and she had quilts and she had everything. She did them everything.
Yeah,
I also remember when
she.
I also remember when she used to make those belts out of those chewing gum wrappers, the silver part.
She could just
make belts out of that.
But
they were cute.
Nothing that she would let go to waste, was there?
No.
And you remember she
Did you
made
ever see her,
twine that they wrapped the meat in at the butcher store? When they used that, she would save that twine
and make dresses.
She could make hook rods out of that twine.
Yeah.
Make what?
You make what?
Rugs, floor rugs.
Oh wow.
Oh, rug. Oh.
But she made dresses out of those flour sack bags.
Right.
You know, she could take flour in those big old bags, and then she'd save that material, and she'd make clothes out of that. And I saw her make lassos in that big old girl, it was a big old, what do you call it? Not a tub, but it was, and she had in the backyard, and she made lasso out of that.
I know she could snap a chicken's neck.
In a minute, she had several chickens.
That's why I hate that Karen wasn't able to get on here with us, because one of my most vivid memories of that was that chicken hitting the ground and started running, and Karen started running. It looked like the chicken was chasing around the backyard.
No, Steve, the only thing I remember about Big Mama too was breaking the chicken's neck. I didn't eat chicken for, I bet you, a year.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that was the best chicken in the world, girl.
Yeah. But Big Mama didn't, she cooked the chicken feet. I knew she would warm them a little bit first to make it tender, then she fried them for us.
Yeah, crispy too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some good eating right there.
You already getting up at the crack of dawn, going fishing, and come back with a whole passel of little catfish or whatever they were, and fish and make. I swear, she makes the best biscuits in the world. So she would make hot biscuits, and we would have homemade jelly and fried potatoes and those fish that she had caught that morning. That would be our breakfast.
Yeah, it was good. We had chicken and gravy.
I should have been. Any of you guys have quilts that you made or that your moms made or Big Mama made?
Yeah. You know, I do. As a matter of fact, I was going to talk to Aunt Herreece to see if she wants it, because just recently I got a crocheted blanket that Big Mama made. I know she made that the mama had, and I was going to try to get it to you, Aunt Herreece, so you would have it. Because I just found that at the house, at Floyd's house.
Oh,
and so,
that's so sweet.
Yeah, but it's crocheted. It's heavy and everything. Wow, it's beautiful.
Wow.
All those things.
That's lovely. I think there are a number of us that got little things, even in the youngest grandkids got little items, but they may not have survived all the moving and fires and, you know, things like that. But a lot of us got more, in addition to the poems and the songs and all that, we might have other things. And that's why it's nice also to have other people that lived in town. Like Roosevelt growing up there. Sometimes mommy, if you ask her directly, she won't remember. But a conversation like this, little things will start, you know, she'll be like, oh, what? Yeah, I remember that. Or, oh, that's the first time I heard that. So these conversations are nice.
Yeah, and you know, because all those people love Big Mama, but Miss Terry lived next door, and Miss Terry was scared to death of storms. And so whenever there was a thunderstorm, she'd come over there and be at Big Mother's and sit there, and she'd just sit right next to Big Mother, maybe in her bedroom or something, until that storm was over, because she was just
So I think she would get up under the bed, and we would be sitting on the bed, and Miss Terry would be get up under the bed, and
she was afraid.
And I remember that was, you know, laughing, and Big Mama giving me the look.
Yeah. Yeah, she was something, but she was everybody's either auntie or cousin or somebody. They all loved Big Mama.
Do you remember cousin Thomas who lived with Big Mama and Big Mama for years and years?
And Maddie, yeah, his cousin Thomas, and Maddie was his daughter, I think. Even though he was quite old, and she and I had a lot of fun together, along with this.
Yeah, that was after we left Wetumpka and moved to Kansas City. This when that little girl was born, and then there were funny stories about her and her father.
Yeah, Matt was spoiled. But then we had a friend. What was that girl's name? I think she was cousin Maddie's granddaughter or daughter, or whatever. That she and Maddie and I kind of hung together a lot down there. I can't think of her name right now, but I think she passed away kind of young. But I don't remember.
You know, that was my father's niece. That was my father's sister's daughter.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That was my Aunt Bessie.
Okay,
No, not Bessie. That was a oh gosh, not starts with an L. I can't think of it.
Louise.
Louise,
Yeah,
mommy.
Louise.
Okay. That was
Miss Louise was married
down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we used to go down there and sew together on that machine with the foot pedal.
Yeah, and we all got a chance to eat the watermelon stuff. That man's
Lavinia, how old was she though? She seemed like a young person to me.
Who, Maddie?
Oh, you talking about
Maddie
Louise or Maddie?
Oh, are you talking about her mom or are you talking about Maddie?
Oh, Maddie.
Maddie was on Louise's daughter.
Yeah, she was my age. But
okay, that's what I thought.
Miss Louise was younger than cousin Thomas, though. I think quite a little bit.
Yeah, that was my father's sister.
Okay. Yeah.
Dorothy, did you mention Big Mama? I know watermelon.
Watermelon, the man on the corner, Mr. Wesley, was that his name?
What was his name?
Was that Sarah's dad?
Yeah,
Say it again, Stephen.
Mr. Ed was a storekeeper.
On the corner next door?
No, Mr. Ed had the store, but the man I'm talking about was down the street from Big Mother, and he grew watermelons, and he would let us come over in his yard and just break them open and eat them. But I thought he was related to Aunt Herreece's friend that played the piano. I can't think of her name. Was it Sarah?
Sarah Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley.
Sarah Wesley lived out on. She lived closer to town off of the railroad track. She didn't live near.
They're talking about Mr. West.
And her daddy was
the bus. He owned the bus that put all the people in from out of town to the school.
Okay.
No, you mentioned watermelon.
Wesley's was that narrow.
I can't think of his name, but he had a lot of watermelons, and he used to let us have them. Mr. Ed's store was around on the other side.
Yeah, I knew
Mr. Ed's store was on the same street that turkey, whoever had all them turkeys.
On the
He had
highway, yeah.
up there.
Yeah, but no,
But it's the same street as the church was
Roosevelt
on.
saying something. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now Roosevelt was saying something.
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say, Roosevelt?
Oh, I didn't. No, I was just listening to what you all were saying about the watermelons and everything. Now, the person that lived on the corner down from Uncle Frank and him was Wes. Name was Wes, and he operated the bus.
Oh,
that
okay.
went out and picked up all the kids.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
would
know
take that bus out to grandma's house. After school one day, we would just get on the bus and go spend the night with Grandma Scott. Grandma Scott lived with Uncle Fred and
Pearl.
And Pearl, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember going to out there one day, my brother and my cousin and I, and we wanted some peanuts, and they had peanuts that they had grown and they had in the barn. And so they told us if we Grandma would she baked some peanuts for us, but we had to go out there and get them. So we tore out to that barn to get the peanuts, and we got the bag, got a pan with some in it, and when we turned around to go out the door, there was a rat between us and the door.
Oh Lord!
And rats are my favorite thing to hate.
Yeah.
I think I jumped over that rat.
Yeah, I probably jumped over. Well, now tell me something though. Frankie Lee and what's his name? You know, he that family.
Frankie Lee.
Yeah,
Frankie Lee was Argyle.
Argyle, that's my father's side.
Okay, well I know they were all close. See, that's what I'm talking about. Big Mother had, as far as we know, Big Mother owned everybody. They owned Big Mother or whatever. So it was like they called themselves our cousins, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Frankie Lee was my mother always said Frankie Lee and they were double related because Frankie Lee was a cousin already, and then she married a Lehman Cargyle.
I remember Lehman. Yeah.
Not Frankie Lee. Her mother
Bertha
married
Cargyle.
Yeah, Bertha. That's what it was Bertha. Bertha Cargyle was the one that was doubly related. And Bertha is Frankie Lee's mom.
Yeah. And it was Cornelia.
Bertha was already a family member.
Right, she was. But how was I forgot how she was family. Cornelius?
Yeah, was he
Yeah, Cornelius was Bertha's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Cornelius and Willie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they would always come down and visit with us, and my father would have to get him bus fare to tell them it's time for you guys to go back home now because they'd be getting all kind of.
Oh, but yeah, Cornelius used to come up to Big Daddy's a lot.
Got 4 kids.
Yeah, Willie did.
Yeah.
Cousin Thomas, I was remembering back in the day when Big Mama was watching a lot. She was watching soap operas on radio even back then. And Cousin Thomas said to her one time, he said, "Listen, them white folks can tell you anything. Ain't no way no bitty people can get in that. No people can get in that little bitty box like that."
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But he did.
Well, he was right.
Yeah.
But for him to hear those voices coming out of that thing, must have been some people somewhere. So white people were trying to fool you into they could squeeze people into that box, I guess.
Was nobody in that box? I tell you what. Now, some of the best times I remember down there was sitting around listening to Uncle Fred tell a story.
Oh, he would tell some stories. Yeah. Yeah.
He had a sense of humor like nobody's business.
He talks about how he worked a whole month and saved up almost all his money to buy Aunt Pearl a new stove, cook stove. And then she decorated it and kept it, probably wouldn't even use it because she didn't want that coal to get it dirty.
Well, Herreece, do you remember, and you were too young, and I don't think you participated in buying it, but Mother and the other sisters went together to buy Big Mama a washing machine. And it was a lovely washing machine, and Big Mama made a lovely cover to wash her clothes on in the tub with a washboard, and the white ones got boiled in the in that big old boiling pot that she had in the backyard. But I'm not sure that she ever used. She may have. They may have eventually talked her into using the washing machine, but eventually it was a decorated piece for her kitchen.
Yeah, she eventually started using the
Mama
button
was
because
old
it had
enough
that.
to remember that machine.
Well, yeah, the machine that she had, didn't it have the thing you had to turn the roller, you know, and roll and so the clothes could go through and wring them. Yeah, I can't remember when she started using that. Yeah. So yeah. So now, but Big Mother's.
You feel better.
So it's just Aunt Mary and Aunt Maddie was Big Mother's only sisters.
No, Aunt Lena was Big Mama's sister.
Aunt Lena, you know, I forgot all about Aunt Lena. How did I forget that? She lived right in Kansas City. So it was Aunt Lena, Aunt Maddie, and Aunt Mary.
Was that it, Herreece? I think that was it. Oh, they had another sister. Big Mama's sisters, Maddie, Lena, Mary, and who else?
Those are the ones I know.
I think Big Mama was the other sister.
Okay. Mommy has them.
I have them in a paper.
But go ahead and tell them now.
Go ahead.
No, I don't remember what you said.
That what you said, Aunt Lena, Aunt Lula, Aunt Mary.
Okay.
From Lena.
Aunt Maddie.
Aunt Maddie.
Right.
And then she had two Aunt Lulas. There were two Lulas.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that was a bunch of people. Well, there was Lena and Lula, but Lula, we never saw Lula.
I don't remember Lula.
I know.
We just hear she lived someplace else out in Western.
Dorothy, you're not old enough to remember all of Mama's aunts. You're not that old.
Well, I remember Aunt Lena, Aunt Maddie, and Aunt Mary. I got to see all three of them.
Yeah,
but I don't remember Aunt Lula is the one I don't remember. I don't remember her.
You weren't around, baby. You're not that old.
I was old enough to be around those three. Those I really was.
Look, Dorothy, I'm old enough to have been around those three.
I spent some time on Aunt Maddie's farm with because her husband had built her outhouse, and Aunt Maddie used to keep it so nice and clean and had it all fixed up just like it was inside toilet. And he would take us up there to pick grapes, and she made the best rolls you could ever think of. Aunt Maddie did, because she had that farm, she had all that good milk and stuff. Yeah, I remember her very well. And of course, Aunt Lena was in Kansas City, so I remember her. I didn't get to see much about Mary, but I got to see her once. Yeah, but not Aunt Lula. Aunt Lula, I don't know her.
When Floyd, Freddie, and I went to her house, and we wouldn't drink that milk. She boiled that milk and chilled it, and it made a big difference.
Well, I tell you what, the reason my child Pam will not drink milk today is because we exposed her to raw milk when she was like 4 or 5 years old, and she decided.
That's a traumatic experience for a child.
Terrible.
In Depression years, when there was hardly any money anywhere, my other grandmother, my dear, would buy canned milk, carnation canned milk for me, because I would not touch that nasty milk.
We drank it. My mother would do that too. She'd buy the pet milk and then dilute a little bit with some water, and that was it.
I couldn't stand that other milk.
Oh boy! But you know what? Now the biggest thing that me and Big Mama used to fight about is that sorghum syrup, and she was gonna tell me that sorghum syrup was better, and I'm telling her no, Karo is better. And I can remember us because he went the biscuits. You know, she made the best biscuits in the world, but she gonna put that nasty sorghum syrup on there, and I said, "No, Big Mama, I gotta have some Karo syrup. I can't." I never got to. Some people really like sorghum, but I never did get a taste for sorghum, sir.
They liked it.
I,
I
I have a question. Where did the music legacy start from? Where did that come from?
Big Mama had a good voice, probably. And she knew a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Yes, I went anywhere because we had prayer meeting.
With Big Mama singing and with my own mother singing, but I don't know what the origin. Herreece, what
You
about
remember the Indian song she used to sing? In the evening by the wigwam, something, something. Yeah.
Sing! Sing that song.
Huh?
I've heard of it. Pauline, how did it go? Keep singing.
I just remember that much of it. In the evening by the wigwam, doesn't want to pray. The big chief doesn't very much feel bad when he thinks of you. The big chief grows on water when your love ain't true.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember ever hearing that.
Okay. Hey, so now Jerry, who I didn't get to meet, and I wish I had, and that was Big Mama's mother. So Herreece, what was Big Mother's mother like?
Herreece don't know either.
Even Aunt Herreece is not old enough to.
You know your grandmother. Come on now.
No, she didn't get to be her mama.
No. The mother was a very mild, sweet lady. She was
Wait a minute. Now explain to me, what was it about Big Mama's mother? She passed early or what?
What was Big Mama's mother's name?
Jerry, you're mute.
She's muted.
She was muted on purpose. I said, Mama is not that old.
Oh,
she
Mama is older than that.
Not remember her grandma?
I won't admit it.
No. Okay, I'm gonna let Mommy talk.
Thank
you. What now? I don't know her. I didn't know her mother.
You didn't meet her?
Okay.
I think she was of Indian priest.
Yeah, she was
okay.
That's where she got that money from.
You met.
Okay.
And the only grandma I know about is grandma's daddy's
I have a question. What was Big Mama's mother's name?
What was
I'll have to look at this thing because I never met her. I know about what the history is.
It was Grandpa Chet's wife. Oh gosh, what was that woman's name?
Barbara has it written down.
Yeah, I have it written down, and I'm gonna find it.
We have some.
Her name is Rebecca. Rebecca.
Yeah. Okay. No, I didn't know, because I know what mother them got that. Mother and Aunt Veessa knew her, didn't they?
Yeah, your mother is old enough to be my mother's mother.
Yeah. Well, look here.
That's right.
We all know about that.
Darling, your oldest brother.
Eddie and now is on the same.
Your oldest brother was a few months older than Aunt Herreece.
Okay. Hey, I already know that. I know that Aunt Herreece and Maxine. That big mom, what it was that mother is the one that nursed Herreece and Maxine. I got that. But I
me and Eddie
that they didn't know Big Mother's mother, because I didn't know when she passed away.
We didn't know Daddy's daddy either.
No, we did not know Grandpa. Daddy was young when Grandpa John passed away. Very young, from what I understand.
I'm gonna see if the story has. I've got Ellis and Rebecca Carter in here, and it doesn't say when she died.
I'd have to go get my book.
It says that she was Creek Indian ancestry, and they had children, and Big Mama was one of those children. Oh, here are the names. Ellis and Rebecca had 10 children. Aaron, y'all remember Aaron? James, Willis, Lula, Lena, Elizabeth, Maddie, Alberta, and Mary. So when you, Dorothy, when you asked how many sisters did Big Mama had, she had a whole bunch of siblings.
Wow.
We just didn't know.
You didn't know? Yeah. Okay.
Did she have any brothers?
Huh?
Did she have any brothers?
Yeah. She had brothers named Aaron, James, Henry, and Willis.
Oh,
Looks
okay.
like he had 4 brothers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sisters.
Okay.
Wow.
I didn't meet any of those, I don't think.
And their mother, their grandmother, no, their mother was Rebecca.
Was Rebecca full-blood Indian?
Rebecca was full-blooded Creek Indian, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, we knew Big Daddy's mother. We knew Big Daddy's mother. We all old enough to remember her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but she hung around for 100 years.
Yeah.
She did.
Plus,
What was she? 100 and about
103,
103,
wasn't she?
Yeah,
103
I
or
think she was about
4.
103.
Did she
Yeah.
pass?
Barbara Jean, do
Uh-huh.
you remember Rebecca's last name?
Rebecca Reed.
Reed? Well, did you say Reed, R-E-E-D?
R-E-E-D.
Oh, okay. And she was full-blooded Indian?
Yeah, let me read it.
Okay.
Ellis married Rebecca Reed. Rebecca's parents were Henry Reed, a Chickasaw Indian, and Caroline Caynard of Creek Indian ancestry.
I'm
So-
going to call you tomorrow and get that information and see what I can find on them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting with all the Native American that's in the family, but yeah, when you take a DNA test, it doesn't come out that much.
Oh,
Because I
really?
know
It
my
told
mom,
me
she
that I
did.
was Irish.
What is that?
Okay.
The
Yeah.
The problem with that is the DNA tests are only as good as the DNA database. So the more people that contribute to the database, the more accurate the responses are. So that's why you don't get the responses that you think you would get. That's why, like for Black folks, everybody comes out Nigerian, when it really should be more diverse. But until more Black people contribute to that database, then your what you get back is just a lot more limited.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I know I did the DNA thing with the African ancestry, and that's what ours came out to
Right,
be.
Nigerian, and
Nigerian
we're not.
from
No,
the Igbo.
and we're primarily East African. We come out of Madagascar, Somalia. Our background is more East African. There's some West African in there, but again, the database is only as good as the folks that contribute to that database.
Yeah.
So you know what would be interesting? Now we know that it was a lot of white blood on Grandma Scott's family, but I know when we were at that place in where we went in Virginia, where you know the white people could not, they wouldn't even allow their DNA to be
That's
saved.
right. That's
So
right.
they fathered all these
That's
Black
right.
kids. So, you know,
That's
so
right.
what you got in?
Yeah. Well, what we do know, which has been passed down to us orally, is that Grandma Scott's daddy was a white man. He was the slave owner who raped her mother.
Yeah.
Who was that? Whose daddy was that?
Grandma Scott.
Grandma Scott.
Grandma Scott's daddy was the white slave owner.
Yeah, and he was a doctor.
Yeah.
That's where she got her medical stuff.
So who was my connection to the people when we stayed in Wetumpka? I slept on their porch, and there was a washing machine and something else on the porch. It was like Pearl. Who did they belong to? Because I slept on the porch.
Pearl was Big Daddy's sister.
Ah, yep.
Yeah.
And Grandma Scott was living with them, wasn't she?
Yeah. I just
Okay.
remember
I remember her
was
from there.
Yeah, I just remember there was a ringer washer on the porch, and there was something else, and I remember we slept on the porch because we went over to their house to stay.
Yeah. I have a picture of you and Vernal, and was Grandma Scott? No, Grandma Scott wasn't in there. I think it was Mother Banks was over there. And they were at my house having dinner with Big Daddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I remember a picture where Pam and Vernal and Grandma Scott was in that picture.
Look, by the way, if you have pictures to bring them to Kansas City, and we'll just have maybe well, we'll talk with the planning team. I was thinking about a picture table where we would just put your name on it if you want it back, but display some pictures.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was somebody else's picture that I saw.
Yeah. I just remember, I remember Big Daddy sending me out to get eggs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
And the hens were pecking at me.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Looks like we all had a close encounter of the third kind with the chickens.
With the chickens.
Well,
about your ancestors,
Mickey and Rook and I, we got everybody revenge on those chickens.
Not your ancestors, but when Daddy was out of work because he got laid off when the soldiers from the World War II came back and they got all the jobs. So people who held those jobs, many of them got laid off. So, but he'd grown chickens. We had a garden, so we didn't starve. But we were down before he got a job. We were down to the last chicken. It was an old rooster, and Mother sent me and Maxine out in the yard to kill the rooster. And we chased that rooster. When we finally caught it, Max said, well, you hold him and I'm going to bring the neck. Well, we tried wringing his neck. That didn't work. We would wring his neck and we'd turn it loose thinking he was dead. And he would get up and run away. And so we chased him down and we'd get him. We did that about 3 times. And Max said, well, why don't we use the axe? And so she said, you hold him down and I'll bring the axe down on his neck. So I would hold him down, and when the axe got kind of close to my hands, I'd turn that bugger loose because I didn't want my hands. I didn't want that axe to hit on my hands. And this guy who was a drunkard in our community, in our neighborhood, he was coming down the street and he saw us, and he just laughed his head off. But he killed the rooster for us. But oh my gosh, I wish we'd had a video of that. That was a neighborhood spectacle.
Oh, funny.
I remember Earl was gonna get one fried chicken and Madeire's chickens. So she said, well, go out there and bring me one back. And so he went out there and he grabbed this chicken. He had no problem grabbing chicken, and then he swung it around in his head in a circle instead of instead of swinging it to the chicken's body. He swung the whole chicken. And when he dropped that chicken ran off.
Yeah.
But you said, well, if you want chicken, you're gonna have to kill it. And
she would do that. Like that. Yeah, Big Mama would do that because I know when I wanted okra, and I loved okra, and she told me, okay, so you like it so well, I'm gonna let you go out there and pick it. And so she did plant some. She put that long sock so it came all the way up my arm on both arms because that okra was with itch. You was itching at the foot, and she had me go out there and pick it. Well, I went out there and got the biggest ones I could find. When I got back in there, she said, you don't want the big ones because they're going to be tough. You need to go out there and get the smaller ones because they'll be nice and tender. So I went back out there, but I tell you what, I didn't ask for any okra anymore after that. Because no, I was itching, girl, for days.
We've talked a lot about Big Mama and Big Daddy and their parents. What about our immediate parents? Like, what about Lily Mae and Zethia and Velma and Herreece and that bunch?
We need another 2 hours.
Huh?
We need another 2 or 3 hours if you go.
Oh, Lord.
Schedule another time?
Yeah.
Okay, time to meet again.
I remember Zethia, my mother was the oldest one, and those other sisters and brothers respected her like she was the mother. They would do whatever she said to do, and she would not give them any bad suggestions or bad advice. She acted like a real mother, and she behaved herself, and she didn't try to get them to do all the work. She would show them how and help them do it. But they all loved her. It was as if she was their mother.
Yeah.
They all treated her like she was their mother.
Yeah, I just want to say hi.
Oh, just a minute. Here's somebody that one of Kathy's people who wants to tell you who he is and say hi.
Oh, I'm Kathy's oldest son. Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Hey,
Anthony. Carter. Hi.
Anthony.
Do they know me?
What's up, Tony?
Hey, cousin.
Hey. They should know me. I've been to every last one of them. And that's Pam. That's why I ain't got.
Get out the picture, bro.
I don't know things, Pauline. I know cheese.
Yes, sir, you do.
Who's eating my food?
Well, then you talk about it if you know it. I mean,
Who is the one
that's
that
the
is
whole idea of having the
That is
conversation. Know stuff
Oh,
and share stuff.
you talking about the beach? I think okay, you saw her. Yeah.
Aunt Lily was the second. Aunt Lily was the second one of my mother's sisters, and she was the one who could do hair. And we all, I mean, all of us had that them kinky. I mean, kinky stuff. And so we would line up, and poor Aunt Lily be sitting there,
Trying to be a part of the solution. I'm saying
going to school.
That's my style. That's my style.
Yeah, I remember once when I was a teenager, it was for some special occasion, and I had a lot of hair. So she had piled it up, and I don't remember what the style was, but anyway, this woman who had short, thin hair saw my hair, and she said, "I bet your mama did your hair." And I said, "Yes." She came down and wanted mother to do the same thing with her hair that she had done with mine, and she didn't have enough hair. So mother tried to explain to her, "Well, that's going to take a whole lot of hair for me to do that, and I don't think you've got enough." "Oh, yes, I can. Yes, you can. You can do anything." It didn't look just like mine, but she brought as close to what she'd done to my hair as she possibly could with this woman. But yeah, she was not only in the family, she was the neighborhood cosmetologist.
Yeah.
She did hair, but she was probably most like Big Mama in terms of Saturday was our day to clean the house. And I don't mean just sweep the floor. I mean, go in the closets and bring out all the stuff and separate the stuff and throw away stuff we didn't need and all of that. Going in the closet was the death of the Saturday cleanup day. We'd go in the closet and she would find in a basket of stuff. She would find some poems or a song or whatever. And she said, "Y'all come sit down and learn this." So we spent the day going over this poem, memorizing the poem that she had found. She was very much like her mother in that way.
Yeah, and you had to learn. You didn't get to say, "No, ma'am, I don't want to do that." Because she would tell you in a minute that "can't" is not in my vocabulary. So okay.
Yeah, she would definitely do that.
But she also, and it's how do you have 10 kids and still be able to take care of the sick folks in the neighborhood and do everything for everybody else? That was who she was.
Yeah. Okay, it's 3 minutes after 7 here in Kansas City. And I can stay on here forever, but tell me when you're ready to go, and let's schedule a time for next time. Are we ready?
It's only 5:03.